noble Sheikh Hafid al-Hakami, which we're going to read his biography in page number 1. Okay? Biography of Sheikh Hafid ibn Ahmad ibn Ali al-Hakami. Sheikh Hafid ibn Ahmad ibn Ali al-Hakami, rahimahullah, was one of the Salafi scholars. Meaning he was, when you hear these Salafi scholars, he was upon the way of the Salaf. He was upon the way of the Sahaba. That's what he means. Salafiyya is not a gang or some new group as some people they may put out there. But if a person is upon the way of the Salaf, meaning he is upon the way that the Prophet ﷺ was upon his companions. No one in his right mind can dispute the fact that that's what is the right path. No one can oppose the way of the Salaf and think he's on the right path. Because who can oppose the Prophet ﷺ and the way of the companions and still think he's right? No, it doesn't work like that. So let us agree once again that when you hear the word Salaf, once again that refers to what the Prophet ﷺ and the companions they were upon. Okay? So this great scholar, he was on that, like the great A'imma of the past. Ali al-Madini, Ibn al-Mubarak, Sufyan al-Thawri, Sa'id al-Musayyib, Al-Hasan al-Basri, Abu Hanif al-Nu'man, Imam Malik, al-Shafi'i, Ahmad, amongst many. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn al-Qayyim, Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, amongst many of the ulama of the past, that they were upon the way of the Salaf. So therefore they were Salafi scholars because they adhere to the way of As-Salaf As-Salih, they adhere to what the companions of the Messenger of Allah were upon. So Shaykh Hafid ibn Ahmad ibn Ali al-Hakami, rahimahullah, was one of the Salafi scholars from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. May Allah preserve it and all of the Muslim lands, Ameen. He is one of the flag bearers of knowledge from the southern region of the country known as Tihama during the 14th century after the migration. The name Al-Hakami is an ascription to Al-Hakam ibn Sa'd al-Ashira, who are descendant from the Medhaj tribe. Those who know the geography, and it's easy now with all of these gadgets and this technology, alhamdulillah, this is the southern part of Saudi Arabia towards Yemen, okay, because Yemen is to the south of Saudi Arabia. It's close to the borders of Yemen and Saudi Arabia. His birth and upbringing. Shaykh Hafid al-Hakami was born on the 24th night of Ramadan during the year 1342 of the Hijrah, almost 100 years ago. Almost. Okay, almost. Because we're in the year, what year we're in? 1440. This is 1440, so almost 100 years ago. Which coincided with the year 1924 CE. In a coastal village called As-Salam, just outside the city of Jazan. This is a well-known city right now in the southern part of Saudi Arabia. He was raised under the care of his two parents. Once again now, when we read this, see, there is a lot of benefits when we read the biography of the scholars. For us, especially the parents, so that we can take good care of our children. No doubt, if you ask any parents, fathers, or mother, what do you want your children to be? Of course, besides the fact they want them to be a doctor, successful businessman, PhD holder or master or whatever. But we Muslims, we want them to be upright, to be upon the deen, to be good Muslims, to memorize the Book of Allah, to have the sound understanding of the text of revelation, Quran and the Sunnah, to have the good akhlaq of Islam, and not to be in trouble, but rather to have taqwa of Allah and to be on the path, because that's going to benefit them and benefit the parents as well. Because if you teach your children the deen and the akhlaq, the religion and the akhlaq, then whenever they act in accordance to that, That's good for them and it's good for you parents as well. It goes in a scale of your good deeds as well. Alhamdulillah. So look, ulama, they don't just come like that. It's not a label or a title that somebody get once you get 65 years old or 40 or less or more. No, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one who raised whom He wills. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. That Allah raises, as He tells us in the Quran, He raises whom He wills amongst you. Because of their faith first, because of their belief. They choose tawheed over shirk. They choose belief, the sound belief, sound creed. And because of knowledge as well. That's what makes the difference in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how people are above others when it comes to the knowledge of the deen of Allah. But that's going to take some preparation, some efforts. Listen, this Shaykh here, who now we're reading from his book, alhamdulillah, and his explanation, said he was raised under the care of his two parents. And it takes both parents, the husband and the wife, the father and the mother, to be on the same page. Both of them, they want good for their children. Not the mother, she really wants the children to be on the deen, but the father, he's like, no way, we want them to be this, or vice versa. The father, he wants them to learn Arabic and Quran, Sunnah, but then the mother, he's like, no, they have to learn music, dancing, this and that, because they are with their peers. No. They gotta be both on the same page, alhamdulillah. Now you can teach your children a good education, secular education, but at the same time what is more important is the religion, the study of the deen, the knowledge of the legislation. He rahimahullah, received a good upbringing, and he was cultivated upon chastity. Pay attention, highlight. He wants to highlight these key words, ikhwan, okay? I'm going to highlight them. So he was raised, as we mentioned, by his two parents. See, I highlight that one. If you agree with me that these are key words, highlight them too. If you have a highlighter, do that. If you don't, circle them with your pens. If you don't, circle them with your finger. At least do something. Go like this. And you never know. That may, because it's going to be in your mind. MashaAllah, alright? If you have pencils, alhamdulillah, take them. If you have any more pencils in here, share. I forget my 2 pens. I'm sorry, I could have given them away. So, if you have another pen, give it, share it, inshallah, jazakumullah khair. So he received a good upbringing, and he was cultivated upon what? Chastity, Allahu Akbar. Purity and good character. That's what we want our children to be raised upon. Chastity, purity, and good character. Remember, once again, these classes are for us to benefit from. It's not the fact that we're going to finish this book. No, but what can we get from it? Okay? What can we get from it? Before the age of puberty, he worked as a shepherd. Look, as a shepherd, he was helping his family, herding the sheep of his parents. This was the most important wealth of the society during those days. Those days, you gotta remember now, 80 years ago, when he was little, or 85, there was no technology like these days, especially in Saudi Arabia. That was Bedouin life. And having these animals, camels, or sheep, or goats, that was one of the most important, wealth at that time. However, Hafid, which is his name, was not like the other young boys in the community. SubhanAllah, this is from Allah. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. But that's why we parents, we have to pay attention to this point. Allah may give you a son or a daughter, they're not like the other ones. They may not even be in the level of your own children. They're not in the level of the children of the community. How? Not because of their colors or how tall they are. Indeed, he was special with regard to his intelligence. That's what it is. Memory and understanding. That's what made him special. not because of his tribe, that's because of the wealth of his parents. لا. Intelligence, memory, he memorized. Allah, he has a good memory. And sometimes we find children like that. As a parent or as teachers in a community, you teach the children, like, for example, here you have the Sunday school. Is it Sunday, Saturday, or is it Sunday? Sunday, may Allah increase it to Saturday. But it takes effort, because one day is not enough, for real. May Allah increase, inshallah, on Saturday, but these Sundays you can go, because it needs some logistics and there's an effort. But Sunday is better than nothing. Okay? But as a teacher, you pay attention to the kids. Some of them may be very intelligent. Some, they have great memory and great understanding. So of course you're going to work with everyone, alhamdulillah, and don't make others feel like they don't understand or this. But on the side, besides Sunday, man, you get this person, he wants more knowledge. He wants it. She wants it. So you take good care of them and give them what they want. Because they're the one in a few years, 10 years from now, they will be teaching. They will be teaching, inshallah ta'ala. Instead of 1 or 2, 3 people teaching, in 10 years from now, you will have like 12 teachers, 15 teachers. And that's a great ni'mah, alhamdulillah. He memorized the Quran before the age of 12. See? He memorized the Quran before the age of 12. He likewise learned proficiency in handwriting while young. Okay? His religious studies. During the year 1358 of the Hijrah, how old was he then? 16 years old, because he was born what year? 1342 of the Hijrah. So during the year 1358 of the Hijrah, which coincides with the year 1940 CE, the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia at that time, Sheikh Muhammad Ibrahim al-Sheikh, he sent Sheikh Abdullah al-Qara'awi, rahimahullah, to the city of Tihama to teach the people and remove ignorance. Look at the efforts, Ikhwan, of Saudi Arabia, Jazakallah khair, in teaching the people Tawheed and the Sunnah from early age. Even in a time when there was like the means, it was very difficult to go by and move and this. But they sent. Look, there was the Mufti at that time, and he sent teachers to teach in these remote areas. This place is far from Riyadh. It's very far. And it's the desert, ya Ikhwan. You remember those who made Umrah or Hajj or visited Saudi Arabia, you know how it is. It's the desert. Yet they understand that this is a message. This is a message that needs to be disseminated, needs to reach the people. Especially in those remote areas that the people, the Bedouins, they're busy with their lives. They're not going to be able, and all of them have the opportunity to come to Riyadh or to Mecca or to other big cities to learn. So they send them teachers. SubhanAllah, ni'mah from Allah. They send them teachers. And by the way, this man, Abdullah Qara'awi, SubhanAllah, has a great efforts when he went over there. So he sent him to teach the people and remove ignorance. Because once again, ya Ikhwan, Allah is worshipped by knowledge, not by ignorance. Hey, now we have to learn first. Sheikh Hafid and his older brother Muhammad, he was an older brother named Muhammad Hakami, went to Sheikh al-Qara'awi with a letter requesting some books on Tawheed, Islamic monotheism, and expressing their regret at being unable to study with him because they were busy serving and seeing to their parents' needs. Allahu Akbar. See, that's the fruits of having good akhlaq, raising the children on good manners, on Tawheed, on Sunnah, because here is the benefit, the parents, they benefit. They like, we're sorry, we would love to learn with you and to come here, but our parents need us, alhamdulillah. That's what we want our children to do, especially our teenagers. That when other teenagers, Muslims or not, they're like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to get together, They were like, I would love to spend some time with you to play some ball together, to go on that fishing trip, but actually my mom needs me. My father needs me. I have to work. I have to help. That teaches a great message to those teenagers as well. Not like now you find the teenagers, they don't care about their parents. When the parents say, you got those chores around the house, I don't have to do anything. But you live here, that's your responsibility. You got to take care of me. That's on you. It's on you. Now we teach them, if we teach them from early age, the akhlaq of Islam and the taqwa and the sunnah and tawheed, we will benefit from them inshallah. So they requested the Shaykh visit their village. They're like, look, we just want some books on tawheed to take back with us to our village. And we would love for you to come and visit us. Allahu Akbar. We would love for you to come and visit us. So they requested the Shaykh visit their village so that they may benefit from some of his lessons and others as well. He accepted their invitation and went to their village. Allahu Akbar. Look at the tawadu and modesty of the ulama of the sunnah. I know. If they can do something, they do it. It's not like, who are you? I don't know you. Me, the big Shaykh, come to you. No. Because what is at stake is disseminating the knowledge. It's good for them and it's good for the Shaykh. I want to share with you something for the modesty of the ulama. The mini example is the example of our noble Shaykh al-Allama, Abdul Aziz ibn Baz, rahimahullah ta'ala as well. He was so modest, rahimahullah, that once he was given a class, and he was talking about and answering the invitation, especially for walima, when a wedding takes place. He said he was elaborating on that. That if you are invited to a walima, do your best and go, alhamdulillah, because of all the many benefits and the fruits that comes from that. At the end of the class, a regular man came. He's not a student of knowledge, he just attended the class. He said, Ya Shaykh, if I'm not mistaken, I heard you, did I hear you right? That if someone has a walima and invites somebody and that person can come attend, should attend? He says, exactly. He says, next Saturday, whatever, next week, my son's walima is on. I want you to come. Huh? Now what would you think the answer of the Shaykh will be? He just gave the class. The Shaykh looks at someone who does his appointments, organize his classes and this. He says, what do we have on that day at that time? He says, no, it's empty. He said, put walima of this man. And he went and he attended the walima. This is the ulama of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We learn from that we need to find time for each other. Not like, I don't think so, okay, I'm very busy. You're not even busy. I got a lot of plans. You got nothing, no plans. If you have plans, nah. But if you don't come up with plans only because you want to turn down your brother and break his heart. And then later on we say, oh no, why we don't have love with us? Why was the harmony missing? This is what brings harmony. That's what brings love. To be there for one another. To share the joy with one another. And to be there for one another in times of difficulty. As well, when the people are going through some hardship. If you cannot be in person, at least send a text message. I heard, Ya akhi, that you're going through some trouble. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Send them a hadith or two, ayah, that remind them of the importance of being patient in times of trials and difficulties. Allahu Akbar, hakada. Now, so he accepted their invitation and went to their village, where he met the young Hafid and got to know him very well, and saw in him promising signs of excellence and intelligence. When Shaykh al-Qara'awi, rahimahullah, was ready to return to the city of Samita, because that's where he was, Samita is a city, well-known city now in the Jazan area, in the south part of Saudi Arabia, he asked the parents of Shaykh Hafid to permit him to employ someone to herd their sheep on his behalf in exchange for their permission that Shaykh Hafid and his older brother return with him to Samita so that they may they might seek knowledge there underneath his care. Allahu Akbar. So he knew that these two young men, they want to learn. They want to be where the knowledge is. They want to seize this great opportunity. But there is another great thing that prevents them from that, which is they want to help their parents. Look at this Shaykh, subhanAllah. He says, look, I will pay for someone who can do their job. I will hire a shepherd, someone who can take care of you, and instead send these two boys with me to learn. Allahu Akbar. How can I? That's why if we in the community, we see some children, mashallah, they really want to learn, we should make ourselves available. Sometimes some children, mashallah, they're very smart. They really want to memorize Quran. They need to be in the masjid all the time. But what happened? The mother, because the father is dead, or he's very busy, or he's on the road, and the mother, she cannot drive them, they live far. We, the brothers of the community, will say, I will bring him. I will come and pick him up and bring him back to you. Hakada. Because we've seen this little boy here, this little girl, mashallah, another brother and his wife, they can go and pick up that little girl. Why? Because if we do this, that's good for them and good for us as a community, right or wrong? Because like I told you, years from now we're going to have girls that teach other girls. We need that. We men, we cannot be with the women teaching them. Remember, teaching one-on-one or eye-to-eye, it means a lot. In just hearing the sound. And especially women teaching women, that's a great ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially Arabic and the Quran, and the basics of the deen. So initially, their parents refused. Look, initially their parents refused, insisting that their youngest son remain with them because of their great need for him. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed that their mother would pass away during the month of Rajab in the year 1360 of the Hijrah, 1942. So their father allowed him and his brother Muhammad to study with the Shaykh 2 or 3 days a week. 2 or 3 days a week. And then return to him. We learn from this also that if you cannot do most of it, do some of it. Do what you can. For example, there is classes in the masjid. They say there is classes every day. Or there is classes 5 nights a week. Make it a goal that you attend. But look, you're busy. You have a job, you have a family to take care of, this and that, business to take care of. Nobody's going to tell you, quit your job, shut down your business, and come and camp in the masjid. Nobody in his right mind will say that. But at least look at your schedule and try to fit 1 or 2 classes. 1 or 2 classes. Say, look, for example, on Thursdays, my business, or Wednesday, my business is not that. I can afford to come that 1 hour and sit so that I can, alhamdulillah, gain some knowledge that will help me to get closer to Allah, to be a better servant of Allah, to be a better father, to be a better husband, to be a better neighbor, to be better this and friend and the like. True knowledge, inshaAllah ta'ala. And you bring your wife with you if you're married, bring your children, so that's her too. Your wife, through knowledge, she's going to be a better servant of Allah. She'll be a better husband to you, wife, to you, and she'll be a better mother to your children. Some of us, we expect from our wives to be like Aisha and Hafsa and them, but we are not acting like Abu Bakr and Umar and Ali and Uthman. We just want our wives and our daughters and children to just act like good Muslims, but we don't give them the means. We don't give them the means. Now we have to bring them to the masjid. Like I told you, if you cannot come every night, every day, come 1 night a week, once, consistently. Choose the topic that you needed the most. Just 1 time. 1 time. Listen, you're not going to be good in basketball or football or soccer or tennis or whatever if you show up once a year. 1 exercise once a year. No. Ask those people who are good in those things, in those sports. They practice some of them daily, right? And how many hours? 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. And that's how. We just want our children to be righteous and pious, mashallah, be on the path, but we have to make it easy for them and facilitate for them. Now, may Allah help us as parents. Ameen. So Sheikh Now, so Sheikh Hafid began to study in Samita. Okay, so now, alhamdulillah, they moved to, they there now. For a few days a week, they leave the village and they go sit with the Sheikh. To study in Samita with the Sheikh Al-Qara'awi, who would dictate lessons to him, after which he would return to his village. Allahu Akbar. See, that's what it is. Oh, you cannot come here full time? I'm going to give you some to take with you. You see? I'm going to give you some knowledge so that when you're not with me, you can still study. Allahu Akbar. So Sheikh Hafid understood and memorized everything that he read or he heard. His father died while returning from Hajj the same year, 1360 of the Hijrah, 1942. At this time, Sheikh Hafid went and stayed with Sheikh Al-Qara'awi and began seeking knowledge full time. So things doesn't happen like that. Stages, ikhwan. We have to follow stages. A successful businessman, ask them. They didn't get up one day and they like, he's a businessman. No, they went through hardship. They started little. And with all of the hazards and with all of but they put a lot of work. And they didn't give up. See, that's what made the difference. Some people give up and some people don't. That's how it is. It's like a climbing a mountain. If somebody says, look, on the top there is a big prize, how many people show up at the bottom of the mountain? How many? Many people. People on crutches, they're going to show up. Right or wrong? Why they show up? Why? Who can answer the question? Huh? The prize. They motivated, right or wrong? All right, what is the big prize for us? Paradise. So keep your eyes on the prize, paradise. That's how it is. Remember this sentence. Keep your eyes on the prize, paradise. You see, like I'm saying, as a Muslim, we really you want the Jannah or not? If I'm asking this question. Can someone say, nah, no Jannah, Palm Beach will do. Ain't gonna be no Palm Beach in that day. On Yawm al-Qiyamah will be only two destinations. You know what are they? Jannah or the hellfire. May Allah protect us. That's it. If someone is missing in the Jannah, where is he going to be? In the hellfire. There's no other place. That's Allah salam al afiyah. So it's very important. But now even those they're going to start climbing the mountain. Why? Because the prize. But then what makes the difference? How serious a person about getting that prize. Those who are not serious, they just there. At the first obstacle, they're like, it's not for me, man. You gotta be another prize. It may be in this dunya, it may be another prize, it may be another opportunity, but not only on the Qiyamah. It's only one way. It's only Jannah. Likewise, yes, it's not easy to seek knowledge. It's not easy to stay on the path of Allah with all of this temptation, with all of the tricks and traps of the shaitan. It's not easy to stay on the path of Allah. That's why we should ask Allah to make it easy for us. But you have to keep the struggle. It's all about struggle in this life. It's not going to be easy. The ride is not going to be smooth all the way. It's going to get bumpy sometimes. You may need more than one seatbelt sometimes. You feel like that. But it happened, alhamdulillah, even the most bumpiest road, alhamdulillah, the relief's going to come. Even in the storm. Give you a bit examples. Storm may last for a day or two, a week or two. But it's going to be sunshine, alhamdulillah. It's going to clear out. And you're going to do what is right, inshallah ta'ala. Likewise. If we choose the Jannah, then we have to work for it. We're not going to be on the path of Jannah by us doing whatever we want to do. No, we have to fight, ya ikhwan. Likewise, someone wants to build muscles, he ain't going to sleep. Keep sleeping, and no, he's going to get up, he's going to go to the gym, good gym, okay? Not the gym that have fit and trials, okay? The gym that, mashallah, if he has some weight in his house. Some people, they have a nice gym in their home, but they don't get up for it. No himmah, no ambition. No, you have to get up. You have to make time for that. And then, inshallah, day by day, month, it's difficult the first months, right or wrong. You get cramped, you get this, tired, you don't know what to do, you want to ask people. But once you get in the rhythm, it's easy. And you see it in your life, in your health. MashaAllah, you're healthy, you're strong. Likewise, you want to have a strong iman, strong understanding, good understanding, but it's going to take some time and some efforts. Now, now his memory, okay? His memory. Because they said, this man's memory was outstanding. The older brother of Sheikh Hafid, meaning Sheikh Muhammad al-Hakami, said, Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Razak Hamza, one of the teachers of Sheikh Hafid, visited Sheikh Abdullah al-Qara'awi in Mecca during the Hajj season. And he brought with him 2 copies of the book by Imam al-Bukhari, The Actions of the Slaves Are Created, Khalq wa Af'al al-Ibad. Remember at that time, it was not like our time. We have books everywhere. On Amazon, man. Can you imagine Amazon? You can get books on Amazon. You can get the Quran on Amazon. You get Tilatat also on Amazon. Sahih al-Bukhari on Amazon. Tafsir ibn Kathir on Amazon. It's a ni'mah from Allah. And it's on prime time too. You know what I mean, right? You push the button and you go get a sandwich or something and come and the book is back. The book is already by your door. Right? Maybe next day. That's prime time next day? Okay. Alright, maybe they may do it like that. Inshallah ta'ala. So this is important, ikhwan. In our time, we have the means available. SubhanAllah. Then look what's going to happen. Look what's going to happen. So look, the Sheikh brought with him 2 copies. How many copies we have with us of this book right now? Everybody will, alhamdulillah, have a copy. Sisters, they have copies, and we still have copies in a box. And there is a plenty of copies if he wants to order them to come tomorrow or 2 days from now. But listen, pay attention to this. He said that Sheikh came back from Mecca and brought with him 2 copies of that book of Imam al-Bukhari. So when Sheikh Muhammad Hamza mentioned the book, this is another Sheikh, he mentioned the book to Al-Qara'awi, to Sheikh Qara'awi. He said, look, I have 2 copies of this book now. Sheikh Hafid let out a gasp of excitement because he yearned for this book. He heard about this book and he would love to see the book. Not along to have a copy. They would love. It was amazing to see the book. This is the book. Allahu Akbar. We have books sitting in here. Books, right there. Look around you. Books. Great books. The ulama before them, they don't see books like that. Because they're not available. They weren't available for them like they are available for us. This is a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he had heard of this book, but never seen it. He had heard of this book, but he never seen it. After Isha prayer, he requested the book from the Shaykh. He said, can I hold a copy? It's not like, give me one. Can you just hold on to it? So he gave him a copy. Now pay attention to what's going to happen now. Amazing things going to happen. Look at the himmah, the lofty ambition. إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ بِالتَّعَلُّمِ. Well, if you want to get somewhere, you got to make a move, man. You can't just sit here and then you wake up, 3 hours, you're in Boca Raton. It's not going to happen like that. You got to drive, or walk, or follow, take any means of transportation to go from point A to point B. Okay? So what's going to happen? So after the Sunnah prayers of Isha and Witr, Sheikh Hafid began to copy the book in his notebook while the others slept. He said, can I hold on to a book? Can I see one of it? Can I hold on to it until tomorrow? The Sheikh, he gave it to him. Maybe he wants to read a few pages here, whatever. What did he do, this man? Hafid Hakam, a young man. He read it, he write the book. He look at it and he write it with his own hand in his notebook. While other people went, sleep, they sleeping. When the first adhan of Fajr was called, his brother Muhammad awoke to hear Sheikh Hafid saying, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon Muhammad. Okay? Meaning he had completed writing the entire book. He didn't go to sleep. He didn't say, well, alhamdulillah, I saw the book. Seeing the book is going to do you any good? Huh? It's like someone saw $100,000. Huh? Oh, I saw $100,000, but he's still broke, right or wrong. No, he wanted to say, how can I get one of those? Not by stealing, of course. Follow the proper means, because that's what's going to make a difference in his life. How can I get? I saw 100,000. How can I get some of it, or most of it, or even more than that? In ways that are halal and permissible, so I can help myself and help my family. And once again, it's not going to happen just like that, by dreams. Likewise, making the Jannah dreams not going to get us the Jannah. Knowledge will, inshallah ta'ala, with ikhlas and sincerity and taqwa. The next day he returned the book to Sheikh Muhammad Hamza. Sheikh Muhammad Hamza said, he just gave him the book. He said, here's your book, mashallah, that I got last night. So the Sheikh said to him, mashallah, you read the entire book? You read it? Because when he gave it back to him, usually when somebody borrowed the book, is to read it. That's what it was, not to beautify the living room. Oh yeah. No, we don't beautify our living rooms with the books. They borrow books to read. So when he gave it to him back, he said, MashaAllah, you read the book? Sheikh al-Qar'awi responded, no, he memorized the entire book. Not only he transcribed it, he memorized it. Allahu Akbar. Ni'ma from Allah. Ayna ha'ula. Allahu Akbar. His appointments and duties. When Sheikh Hafid, rahimahullah, was only 19 years old, Sheikh al-Qar'awi, listen, pay attention to the detail. He was 19 years old. So he's a teenager, right? Let's our teenager right now pay attention. When Sheikh Hafid al-Hakami was 19 years old, not 65, not 70 or 40, when he was 19 years old, Sheikh al-Qar'awi, his teacher, asked him to write a book about Tawheed and the Aqidah of the pious predecessors, Salaf al-Salih, that would be easy for students to memorize. Because that's his teacher now. He knows him. He knows his level. This man have understanding, good memory, sound intelligence, sound creed. He said, listen, this is your first task. You've been studying for a while. Let's see what you got in our terms. Let's see what you got and what you can benefit others. Write a book about Tawheed. If some of us now, if we go home tonight and say, let me write a little book or whatever about Tawheed, how much can we write? Try it. When you go home, try. Try. Say, here is a notebook. I'm going to write something about Tawheed tonight. And see how much we're going to write. Listen to this teenager. All right? Sheikh Hafid wrote a poem entitled The Means of Arriving at the Knowledge of the Fundamentals of Tawheed, Sulam al-Wusul. This is a poem, ya ikhwan. This is a great poem. One of the great poems of Aqidah that's still taught in many places these days. Which he completed in the year 1362 of the Hijrah, 1942. And this work was well received by his Sheikh and the contemporary scholars of that time. He authored other books on Tawheed, science of Hadith, fiqh and its fundamental matters, foundational matters. laws of inheritance, and the biography of the Prophet ﷺ. His books of Aqidah show a great influence from the writing of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and his student Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahumullah. That's why our noble Shaykh, or the Mashayikh of Ahl Sunnah, especially in our time, Shaykh Rabi' Hafidahullah Ta'ala, ومتعه بالصحة والعافية وغفر له ولوالديه وللمسلمين والمسلمات أمين, constantly whenever he gave advice, he said, take care of knowledge. Taqwa of Allah, good knowledge. Seek knowledge from the works of the ulama of the Salaf, especially the books of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahumullah. In 1360 of the Hijrah, which coincided with 1945 CE, Shaykh al-Qara'awi selected Shaykh Hafid to be the director of the Madrasa Salafiyya Institute in Samarkand. Look, very young, 21 years old or 22, he's a director now of the school. Once again, why? Because he's the son of so-and-so, or his tribe is this, such and such. Knowledge. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمِ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah is the one who raises people when you come to the deen of Allah. Not their lineage, not their wealth. Na'am, alhamdulillah, people, they can still help with their wealth. Alright? If you're wealthy, mashallah, and you want to spend some of your wealth towards supporting the masajid of Ahlul Sunnah, towards sponsoring orphans, towards books that the people can benefit from, وهكذا, supporting seminars to bring mashayikh if you can, or students of knowledge that will teach the community, do that. That's good for you. That's beautiful. But it's not person, just his money is going to make him a student of knowledge or a alim. That's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who raises whom he wills. But the people, they have to follow the means. So he was the director of the Madrasa Salafiyya Institute in Samarkand, which was the first and the largest of all the schools that Shaykh al-Qara'awi established for the students of knowledge in the southern region of the kingdom. Hafid was also made regional superintendent for all the schools in the neighboring villages and townships. SubhanAllah. Amen. Shaykh al-Qara'awi rahimahullah ta'ala said about him, indeed he is one of my students. Look, this is his teacher. Remember when Shaykh Qara'awi came, this Hafid Hakami was doing what once again? What was he doing? He was a shepherd. And how old was he? Very young, 16, 15, 14, very young. But what he said about him after maybe 8, 10 years, what he said about him? He said, indeed, he is one of my students, but he has surpassed me in knowledge. Tawadu. And that's what makes us feel this way. Sometimes you may be the imam of the masjid. You're the father. And now your son knows more than you. People in the community, those people you're teaching as an imam or a teacher in the Sunday school, they better than you. They pass you on Quran. They know more Arabic. They memorize more hadith. What are we going to say? Get out of here. I'm the imam. You cannot be here in this community and know more than me. No. Now you got to be happy. Be happy and say, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah that there is in this community some boys that they are better than me. Alhamdulillah. And make dua for them. And humble. Sometimes you're a teacher, you're teaching somebody Quran and he become better than you in Arabic. What do? You sit with him. You sit with him in the Arabic. Take Arabic class. He's better than me in grammar. I humble myself. Yes, I teach you Quran. But you're my teacher in what? In Arabic. Like my son, Hassan Hafidahullah, when he was studying university in Medina, and he used to study the Aqidah and Tawheed with the Shaykh Ali Nasr Faqihi, Hafidahullah. And then, but Hassan also, he was going to some of the circles of Quran, to learn Quran. And he says, one day he saw Shaykh Ali Nasr Faqihi sitting in a circle. Not the teacher. Not as a teacher. The teacher is not an alim, he's not a big scholar, he's just a regular person who, mashallah, Allah gave him the gift of Quran and teaching it. He's a great alim, sheikh, he's sitting there. After the class, my son said to the sheikh, Sheikh, you sitting here learning from this brother? He's younger than you, he's not an alim. He said, no, it's okay, no problem. I'm your teacher in Aqidah, he's our teacher in the Quran. What's the problem? I got to learn from him what Allah has given him. And we humble ourselves. We should humble ourselves. We should be modest. That's another key, akhwan, to make progress, to achieve knowledge. Now, so look, he said, indeed he is one of my students, but he has surpassed me in knowledge. His personality, and we conclude, inshallah ta'ala, shortly. He said, Sheikh Hafid has three wives. One of which was the daughter of Sheikh al-Qara'awi. You see? Now that's his sheikh, he sees good in him, he's like, hey, marry my daughter, he married his daughter, alhamdulillah. He was thin, and he loved to exercise. Allah Akbar. He was thin, and he loved to exercise. Somebody said, I'm a shy, they don't exercise. Says so. Says so. He said he was thin, and he loved to exercise. He was very humble and humorous with his friends and students. You think just a sheikh, like sheikh man has no fun. No, they have fun. But just they serious. There is time to have fun, there is time to be serious. Not fun all the time. That's not fun to have fun all the time. What is the time now? You're going to keep joking and stuff. Even joking, actually, you should say what is right and what is correct and what is sound and what is correct and true. I know. Sometimes you be humorous, be nice, be kind. But when it's time to study and time to be serious, you got to be serious. They all enjoyed sitting with him a great deal. You see? As for his death, and I want to highlight that as well, Sheikh Hafid al-Hakami remained as the director of the institute in Samita until he performed Hajj in the year 1377 of the Hijrah, meaning the year 1958 CE. After completing the rites of Hajj, Sheikh Hafid died on Saturday, on the 18th of the Hijjah, during the year 1377 the Hijrah, 1958 CE, in Mecca from a sudden illness. He died at the young age of 35 years old. Alim from the great ulama, you would think that he's 93. Because he has left a treasure, a great treasure for the Muslims, in different fields. And he was how old? 35 years old. And 3 months. He was buried in Mecca. Rahimahullah ta'ala. Inshallah, we're going to stop here. Inshallah. We continue tomorrow after Fajr, right?
Yes, sir.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan, barakallahu for your attendance. Please come again so we can follow, inshallah ta'ala, these sessions, inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam wa taslim. You can keep the books and you can keep the notebooks. Right? Yeah, you can keep the books. There you go.